Okay, welcome everybody. This is Cooking with Kristin, and we are going to go ahead and make a taco ring tonight. Super excited to be with you guys. I know many of you guys will be watching in replay, so if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments or text me, and I can answer any questions that you have. Those that are live, of course, as I just said, you can go ahead and interrupt me at any time. So anyway, just a little bit about me. I've been with Pampered Chef for 23 years and absolutely love doing the live demo. I had already shared this with the girls that are live, but this has kind of been how I ran my business for so long. And I've obviously switched to virtual parties when we had COVID and the whole world went virtual. But I'd like to kind of meld the two and kind of bring the best of the in-home parties with the best of a virtual party to give you that experience. So that's exactly what we're doing here. Basically with Table, you get the virtual experience. And then with this demo, you're going to get the live party experience. So we're making a taco ring. Have you guys ever had a taco ring? It's crescent rolls with taco filling in it. I don't know. It's a very common recipe to do at Pampered Chef parties, at least many years ago. It's kind of what's old is new again. So have you guys experienced this recipe?
I have not the one you're
No.
going to make, but I have seen other people do it with like pizza and mozzarella and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we are going to be doing on stoneware, we're going to be taking some crescent rolls, and I'll show a little bit more about that, and putting a taco filling in it. But you're absolutely right. What I love about this recipe is the versatility. So once you kind of see the technique, you can put any filling you want in there. So yes, you can do a pizza ring. So do your like pepperoni and cheese and all your fillings and whatever, and some pizza sauce if you want. We're doing taco tonight. You could do one of my favorites is a Philly cheese, where I'll take like I'll do like a beef lunch meat, and I'll do some onions and peppers and some cheese and wrap that up. Or you can even just do a simple ham and cheese. Or I've done breakfast ones where I've done scrambled eggs and bacon and all kinds of veggies and stuff and wrap it up. So I always say, no matter what you wrap in a crescent roll, is going to be delicious, right? And so
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
So that's kind of where we're going with this. So I wanted to start with, I'm making the taco meat, and I wanted to show you kind of a little, as I had mentioned, this is kind of, it's an old recipe, but I'm going to show you some new twists. And so I'm cooking some taco meat here. And I know it's kind of odd to see somebody cook taco meat in a saucepan, right? Like, don't you usually use like a fry pan or a saute pan, right?
Yep.
So the reason I'm doing this is this is the 2-quart pan. There's also a 4-quart from the Brilliance line of cookware. And the saucepans, if you can see those little holes there on the lid, it's a drainer. So like if you've made potatoes and you want to drain them instead of putting them into a colander and getting something else dirty, you just use the lid to drain them. Same thing if you've done pasta or whatever. I've discovered I do my ground beef in here because you always need to drain the grease, right?
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and show you. There's big holes, and those are the little holes there. On the other side are big holes. So kind of depending on what you're draining is the one you're going to do. And you can see how, hopefully I get that, there's like a little bit of a lip, and that's on either side. So whether you're right-handed or left-handed, you're going to be able to do the draining with it. So let me get the camera towards my sink so you can kind of watch what I'm doing. I'm going to kind of go backwards just so that I've got a better view, and hopefully you guys can see well enough. Sorry if it's a little far for you, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and drain. You guys see that, how I'm draining that? So it's just like if you had pasta or potatoes or whatever, but I'm draining the grease out of my taco meat. And so, yeah, it's a whole new thing. I've never cooked taco meat in a saucepan before, but I do now all the time, or anytime I do ground beef. So get that drained. Okay. And anyway, so there we have our taco meat. And another tool that I wanted to point out to you guys that I was using, this is the mix and chop spatula. And we have 2 mix and chops. Let me grab the other one. You might be familiar with this. It's actually black. I have a special Help with Cancer edition, this with the pink handle, but this guy is great for chopping up ground beef. And do you guys, either of you have this already in your kitchen? It's so popular.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so
Yes.
this is the old traditional one, which I still love. Like, you can't go wrong with this one. But this is the newer version. And I didn't think, because it didn't have like the spider on the end, I didn't think that it would chop up as well as the other one, but it actually does. There is metal inside of this with the silicone coating, so it's real durable. So you can use that to chop. But what I like is now I have a spatula. for stirring. So like I'm going to add the taco seasoning to this. I don't have to get out a spatula to mix it up. So that's kind of, if you want kind of 2 in 1, this will chop your meat and then give you a spatula with it. So
I'm
anyway,
guessing that version won't, the meat won't stick as bad as it does like the raw meat.
yes,
Like it is to the
yeah.
other one.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, oh, it sticks in there. It's hard to get it out. I have to use my fingers or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can see, yeah, same thing with
Yeah.
this. And then technically, those little dots there are like supposed to drain. I wouldn't really buy it as a drainer, but like, again, if you're kind of scooping out some taco meat, yeah, maybe some juice or some of the grease will drain through there. But I would do, again, you're not going to be able to drain all your taco meat with that, but that's kind of what that's all about. So now to the taco meat, I'm going to go ahead and add, let me kind of move this so you can see my stove. I'm going to use the everything taco seasoning. This is one of our seasonings from Pampered Chef. I do about 2 tablespoons to a pound of meat. And have any of you guys tried any of our seasonings before?
Some, not that.
Which ones do you guys like?
The cinnamon, there's a cinnamon one I like.
Yes.
There's an
And that
Asian.
is available. I don't know if you noticed, that's only available like October through the end of the year. So it is available now. So stock up for the year if you like the cinnamon. So, and the cinnamon plus is a favorite.
The Asian one, I like the Asian one.
Yep. Do
And
you
then
just
I think
like stir fries with it, or what do you, how do you use that?
Yeah, I actually use it as a rub on or not a rub, a seasoning on like grilled chicken.
Yep. It's super good.
Yeah. And I think there's a garlic herb one that I have in there. So
yeah,
that's about
that
the
one's
only
yummy
ones
on
I really
vegetables.
tried.
Yeah. And then Melissa, have you used any?
No, I have not.
Okay. So we have all different, as you can tell from what Joanna was saying, all different flavors. We've got countries. So like Southwest and Italian and Asian and, things like that. And then herby things, spicy things. So kind of like whatever you're looking for. And they're great, as you said, just to sprinkle on meat, just to flavor that up and give you, an Asian twist or an Italian twist, kind of whatever your meal is. So sprinkle it on your meat, and then you can grill it, bake it, microwave, whatever you want to do, saute it. You can add it to sauces, you can make dips with it. So there's all kinds of recipes. And if you just go to my website, there's a recipe search. So like if you bought, like, let's say the everything taco seasoning, and you're like, what do I do with it besides tacos? You can search, the product or the rub or the seasoning or whatever, and get all kinds of recipes. So now, with our seasonings, a little trick for you guys is, I don't know if I can get the camera light right. There are little ridges in here, like basically for screwing on the lid. But the top line, no, so not level capful, but the top line is a tablespoon. So a rough tablespoon. So if you don't need, and again, usually seasoning, you don't have to be too precise. So I just use the cap, and then like the bottom lid, there's a bottom ring. That's a teaspoon. So you can kind of estimate in between there. So I don't even get out a measuring spoon when I'm using these. I just go ahead and use the cap. And so we're going to go ahead,
that's the nice little tips that I like to see.
Yes, I know. That's why I like to do parties like this. Exactly. So anyway, so we've got that, and I'm going to add just a little squirt of water just because it kind of helps to cook that in there. And turn my heat back up, give this a little stir. And we're going to go ahead and get the taco meat cooking. So instead of buying, the packets of taco seasoning, you buy the bottle, you're going to get, several pounds, several batches of it out there. And then you can season how you like. You can put more or less depending on, what you're making and what your family's, like with that. Oh, we have somebody else joining us. So welcome, Katie. Glad you're joining us.
I'm going to guess that's Shelly. I'm going to guess it's Shelly on her daughter's.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay. So Shelly. Hi, Shelly. Hi. Glad you're joining us. We're just getting started. We're working on a taco ring. I got the taco meat going. So if you wanted to, when I have the replay posted, you can watch the very beginning and you can see what I did on that. We're going to go ahead now and work on our ring. And I'm cooking on stoneware. So are you guys familiar with stoneware?
Yes.
Everybody cooks with stoneware? Okay, so real quick, for those that might be watching in replay that are not familiar with it, it is pieces of clay, and it cooks so evenly. I mean, I think you guys have probably found that, like, if you've cooked cookies, they bake just golden brown, perfect bottom top. If you make pizzas with it, same thing. You're going to get nice golden crispy crust on the bottom, on the top. So this is the pizza stone. This is one of my favorites. And don't think that it's only for pizza. Who has the pizza stone? Do you guys already have?
I have one.
Yeah. What all do you cook on it besides pizza?
I have to be honest, nothing.
That's it. You don't use it, or you only
I don't
make
use
pizza
it.
with it?
I use the black one.
Oh, the rock clock. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's
I
like,
use
so
that one, and I use it for pizza and oh, I don't know. Usually just pizza. Maybe
yeah. So
muffins.
anyway, so
Like,
with whether it's the rock crock or the pizza stone, think of it as a cookie sheet. So like really my favorite thing to cook on both of those is cookies, because they just come out so perfect. You don't have to worry about them burning or anything like that. You can do your convenience foods, you know, like chicken nuggets and French fries and onion rings and things like that. They come out really nice and crispy. You don't have to worry about them getting soggy on the bottom, because with the stoneware, it kind of cooks that moisture away so that it's, you know, on a dry surface and getting nice and crispy from the bottom as well as from the top. I do like roasted vegetables, roasted potatoes, things like that, chicken breast, pork chops. You can just do anything on here. So
I didn't think about that.
yeah, so there's so much you can do. Now, I wouldn't like on the pizza stone, I wouldn't necessarily do like messy things so much, like chicken breasts. Like if you're going to do a lot and they're going to be juicy and you don't want all that juice rolling off into your stove. But in that case, I would recommend like the bar pan, because that has like a little bit of a lip all the way around. And then that way it's going to catch the juices, but still give you all those great properties. So what I call the workhorses in your kitchen would be your pizza stones, your bar pan, your rectangle stone, just because they're so versatile and there's so many different things that you could do with it. Now, those pieces, what I consider the naked stoneware, the pieces that don't have glazing on them, they are 15% off this month. So if you get your order in by the end of the month and you're interested in either getting more for your collection, or maybe you love your stone so much you want to give it as a gift, they're 15% off this month. So definitely keep that in mind. So with our ring here, it's 2 packages of crescent rolls, and I went ahead and started with one. And really the hardest part of my job was learning how to open Pillsbury biscuits and things like that, and getting over the fear of the pop, right? So here it goes. And I still like, oh. Okay. So for a ring, you're going to take the wide side of your crescent roll to the center, and then you're going to have the edges, the tips hanging off the edge. And then you're going to put your filling around the fat part there. And then you're going to bring the edges up and over. So that's kind of what the technique is. And as we talked about earlier, Shelly, we were talking about, you could put anything inside these crescent rolls. So we're doing taco tonight, but you can just kind of use this technique and this idea for so many different things, whatever filling you want to do. Shelly, have you ever made a ring, or have you had a ring like at a Pampered Chef party or something?
Yes,
Okay,
I have actually made a ring.
What flavor? What do you like to make?
I think we did taco.
Okay, there you go. It's one of the favorites. It's like, I think it's just because it's the easiest, and who doesn't like tacos, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so almost got these put out. Yeah, and I think the taco one is the easiest just because it's taco meat and cheese. But the others, like I said, you can put in as much or little of you know, whatever ingredients you want. Okay, so here we have this all laid out. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing there. And then you can just take your fingers and smush it a little bit. I like to take our little baker's roller and kind of roll it out. And I find you kind of want to seal it a little bit so the juices don't cook out. And also too, I kind of thin it out just a little bit, because if it's too thick, it's just going to be a little harder for it to cook. It's going to cook faster and more evenly if you thin it out just a little bit. And it gives you more surface area for putting your filling. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see what we're doing. Leave a little center there. And then we're going to take, whoops, the little, every time I lift up the stone, the little tips go underneath. Okay, let me grab our taco meat. And so Shelly, this is just a ground beef with seasoned with the everything taco seasoning. And I'm going to go ahead and take one of our large scoops, and I'm going to use that to scoop out our meat. And I just kind of use that just because it kind of helps me to get it on here a little bit more evenly. But you can see I'm still making a mess. The meat's going all over the place. But that's okay, because you know what? It's going to be pretty and impressive by the time I get to the end anyway. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so good. I'm like, I'm hungry now.
I'm hungry now.
My husband loves my demo nights. He's like, oh, yeah, we're going to get a good dinner.
I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, because whatever. whatever I make is our dinner tonight. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to get some of the meat back up on there just a little bit better, but again, messy is okay. It's not gonna be a problem. And I have some cheese grated. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that, but I have some cheese grated. So I like to put a little bit of cheese inside, and we're gonna put a little cheese on the outside because more cheese is better, right?
Yes.
So now you could add other things at this point, but I'm going to do all the adding on top, and I'm going to kind of set it up like a little taco bar that everybody can put their own filling, just like, if you're building your own taco, you could put, whatever you want on it. We're going to kind of do that same idea with our taco ring. Okay, so we got that. And then all you do is you just take your little edges here and just bring it up and over and kind of tuck it into the middle. Easy enough, right? And again, it does not have to be perfect. I promise you, by the time it cooks and gets puffy, it's going to be beautiful. So all your imperfections will be hidden and people will be impressed. So, and again, too, thinking about it, if you're entertaining and you're having company over for dinner or whatever, this is a great thing. You could make it ahead up to this point, and then, when company comes, then pop that in the oven or whatever. So you have it hot and fresh. And everybody can kind of make their own. Oops, that tip came off. Now, if you don't have a round stone and you wanted to make this on a rectangle stone, let's say you have a cookie sheet, you could do these the same way. What you do is put your crescent rolls, don't separate them by triangles. I just kind of roll them, take the two pieces side by side, fill your stone. And then I cut like slits. I kind of seal all the little perforations. I cut slits in the sides, and then I put all my filling down the middle, and then I bring those edges kind of up and over and twist them. So it's kind of what I would call a braid technique. So, or like, again, if you have the bar pan, you didn't have the round stone, you could still make this. So all kinds of fun ideas for you guys. Okay. Ta-da! And when it bakes, it's going to puff up and be all beautiful. Now, some people like to put an egg wash on here, kind of makes it even more golden brown. I'm lazy. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to put it in the oven just like this. So let me do that. And don't look at my dirty oven.
There's such a thing as a clean oven?
No, there is not. There is not. So, okay. So any questions up to this point on putting that ring together? Pretty easy, right? Anybody can do that, right? So, okay. So now we're going to go ahead. Oops, I forgot an ingredient. I always do that. I'm still going to show you the tool, but I forgot to put it. I was going to add some extra garlic to that. Totally spaced it. But let me show you the tool anyway. So we have the garlic press. I'm sure many of you have that already in your kitchen, right?
Yes.
And it is a favorite. And I thought, wow, why do I need anything else for garlic besides that? But of course, Pampered Chef always comes out with something new. And I'm really starting to find a lot of uses for this. So I wasn't sure at first, but so pressed garlic is going to give you the most intense flavor. So that's going to be, again, just the strongest flavor because it's kind of processed the most. But if you ever want like more mild flavor, like when I'm doing like a stir fry and I want to like kind of infuse the oil with garlic before I add all the vegetables, I like to do either sliced or diced garlic because it doesn't burn up as fast. So like if you put the pressed garlic and hot oil, it just kind of fries, burns, whatever, and is kind of gone. So that's where I like to do that. Or if I'm making kind of like an all day spaghetti sauce where it's going to be sitting, kind of simmering all day, then I think the more mellow flavor is good. So that is what this little guy is. It's called the garlic prep set. And it allows you to either dice garlic. I'm trying to get the light there right for you. Dice it, or you can slice it. And if you don't have a garlic press, you can kind of use this it's kind of got little bumps on it. So you can kind of rub your garlic on there and get like a garlic paste, which would be kind of like what we do with our garlic press. And then really, so the idea behind it is the more you process it, the stronger it gets. So the more mellow flavor would be sliced all the way up to your garlic press. Okay. And then with this tool, so like with the garlic press, you don't have to peel your garlic. I don't know if you guys realize that or not with the Pampered Chef one. Just take your clove of garlic, paper and all, stick it in there and give it a squeeze. With this tool though, you do need to peel the garlic, and it comes with a little garlic peeler. It's this little silicone tube, but I'll show you how it works. And there's even a little cleaning brush. You know, if you get stuff stuck in these blades or whatever, you can do that. And I've got 2 cloves of garlic, so I'm going to kind of show you both. So let me kind of turn the camera down here for you. So to peel your garlic, you just take your clove of garlic, put it in here, give it a little roll on your countertop, and the paper comes off, and all you're left with then is your peeled garlic.
Okay, I like that just alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's super, super slick. I love it. So just a little twist. You can kind of hear, I don't know, I was talking, you can kind of hear though the paper kind of crinkling and coming off. So there's that. Okay, so now the trick, what I always miss is whatever side you're using, you want to put the cup in with the open side so it catches your garlic. I have a tendency for some reason I put it in upside down. So I got to really pay attention to what I'm doing and get it in there right. So I'm going to show you both sliced. So you just kind of take your garlic clove, put that on there. Hope you guys can see. And then just pop that down. And there is your sliced garlic. So you can see kind of bigger pieces. But again, if it's going to be, you know, like in a spaghetti sauce cooking all day or a soup or stew or pot roast or something, that is going to be absolutely delicious. So let me set that aside. And then we're going to turn it upside down and we're going to do our diced. So a little smaller piece, put our clove of garlic in there, give it a pop and whoops, I almost missed it. And then there's our diced. So again, you can see even smaller, but not quite to the paste. So pretty cool tool. It's really, I've been having a lot of fun with it. And then for cleanup, it all goes in the dishwasher. And what I like too is here on the top, like if you happen to get garlic stuck in here, these are like the little pushers. This little plate comes out and then that would pull off any garlic that might be stuck in there. And then here, that's what that little brush would be for. You could brush your garlic off if it gets stuck in there. So that is the garlic prep tool. That is brand new. So you guys might not have seen that yet, but I did want to point that out to you. Then the other thing that I want to show you guys, I'm going to pull you over here a little bit, is this board here, which is one of our new cutting boards. This is the prep set, and you can buy it just by itself, which is the cutting board. And it comes with, I don't know, if I'm trying to get the camera. Let me turn this a little bit so you can see. Oops. As I'm dropping everything as I'm moving things around my kitchen here. So it has these little containers that you can, like, as you're prepping, you can just kind of pull your food right into the container. So like I had grated cheese and just shooshed it right in here. And then these are great for kind of prepping ahead and storing. My dog's going to like that. I just dropped all the cheese on the floor. So, oh, and I forgot to put cheese on top of the ring. We're going to do that later, especially now that I have cheese all over the floor. Anyway, these, you can have, it can come off the side or off the front. So kind of whatever your kitchen configuration is. And like, again, my configuration is one way. It's just not good for the camera is why I'm kind of trying to jiggle that around. So you have your cutting board. Has a little trough here. So if you're cutting something really messy, it's going to catch the juice. So you're not going to have that all over the countertop. And the idea behind this is how many of you guys prep food ahead? Like if you're already cutting onions, you cut it for the week. Okay. Yep. That's what this is all about. So again, as I said, if you were already cutting onions for your stir fry and you knew you were having fajitas the next day, why not get it all done at once, right? And that's what these little containers are all about. And they come with a little divider. So you could do like chopped onion in one side and sliced in the other, or peppers or onions or, you know, whatever, if you kind of wanted to keep it separate. They also come with lids. So again, this is great for storage. And the lid even has a vent on it. So whether you want it to be vented or not, you have that flexibility. And the lids come with this little drain thing. So if you had something messy and you were kind of wet and you wanted to keep like berries, like kind of up out of the water, then you would put this in the bottom and it would keep your food from getting soggy and wet in the bottom. So all kinds of things. When you're not using this, like you don't necessarily need that with everything. It stores easily in the lid. So really handy. So with the board, you're going to get 2 of these containers and you can just store them right in your refrigerator. But there is also this guy, this set, which is a serving set. So you can get the 2 pieces together as a set, or you can get one or the other. So you have the prep set and then you have the serve set, which is this guy. And with this, it comes with 3 more containers with the lids and the whole bit. And the idea is after you've prepped everything, you could store it in here in your refrigerator. It takes just the room of like a 12-pack of soda, so it doesn't take a lot of room. And then when you're ready to prepare, like you've prepped all your vegetables, like say Sunday for the week, then every day just pull this out and you have everything ready to put your meals together. Does that kind of make sense? So
Yeah.
really does make, and I'm not one, I did not used to prep ahead. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty easy. And that's kind of fun. So I do it now. And it's like, it works really, really well. And then with this, I forgot to pull it out of my freezer, but there are also ice packs that go in here. Are you guys familiar with the cool and serve trays that we have?
Mhm.
Yes.
So they have like a little gel pack, I guess, if you will, that you can freeze or refrigerate, and then it will just keep the food colder longer. So if you're prepping, you know, again, if it's just been refrigerated, it's going to stay cold while you're, you know, doing all your meal prep. But if you freeze those and then maybe use this, like, again, I'm doing like a taco bar. So let's say you were having company over, or you're having a party and people would be kind of grazing, you could put all your all your chili toppings or all your fajita toppings or all your vegetables or fruits or whatever you wanted to do in these containers on the ice, and it's going to keep everything cold longer. So kind of makes sense because it's kind of a new tool. It's like gets a little confusing trying to explain it, but I hope I did a good job with that. So
Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, as I said, I just dumped cheese all over the floor. So we're going to start with another one. And see if I can do this right this time. Okay, so cheese. Do you guys grate your own or do you buy it already grated?
Yes. Graded.
Hey,
I
you
bought
all
it.
make your own cheese?
I make
Yep.
my own. Yes.
Yep.
Yay, yay, yay. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
So hopefully you've heard that at Pampered Chef parties, because when you grate it yourself, it tastes better, it melts better, and it's a whole lot less expensive. So I'm glad you guys will take the time to grate cheese. And what I find too, let's say I dropped it on the floor, is like once the tool's dirty, like I would go ahead and grate the whole block of cheese. There's no reason not, right? And then I love, these are our reusable storage bags. And this is just the smallest one. There's also one about twice the size. And then again, twice that size. They're silicone, they're washable. They have a really nice seal on them. So after I've grated cheese, so like I'm going to have some of this cheese left over, I put it in this bag and I put it in my refrigerator. And then the next time I need grated cheese, it's just like, you know, buying it grated at the store, but a whole lot better and fresher. So these are super handy for, you know, grating cheese and storing it. Okay, so you guys may already have the Pampered Chef cheese grater. What's nice with this is it has this cover here that protects your fingers when you're grating. So we're going to just go ahead. And I don't know, I've done some lives where I've forgotten to use the food guard, and I have cut myself. I don't know if you guys were ever on one of those. That was a really bad one once. So anyway, once the cheese gets down there a little bit, then you can use the rest of this piece to kind of push your cheese all the way down there. Okay, so fresh grated cheese. Look at how easy that is. I'm kind of at an awkward position, but I just wanted you guys to see how that's going to work. Then always, if there's that last little bit that doesn't grate, that's your treat. You've been working hard. You can go ahead and have a little nibble. Or I find most cheese is going to end up getting melted anyway, so you can just throw that in your bag. And again, with this system, you can just take your whatever you've been working on and just kind of shoosh that right into your bowl there. Easy peasy, right? Okay, cheese. Everybody can put more cheese on there. Then we're going to go ahead. Now I'm only cooking for 2 tonight, so I'm doing kind of a small amount of things. But you could certainly put a whole lot more in these bowls. You can see that's not very much, but you can put a whole lot in there. So we're going to go ahead and do some tomato. And again, this is kind of juicy, but I've got the little well there that's going to go ahead and catch that. And I don't know if you guys have seen our tomato knife. This little guy, it's serrated. And as you notice, it's super good for cutting something soft and squishy because it does not smush it. It's going to go ahead and just give you some nice cuts. And I'm just going to go ahead and dice this up for our topping. Some of my kids don't like the tomatoes, so they're not going to put tomatoes on, but hubby and I will. And again, you can just shoosh that right into whatever you're doing there. And I even like to use one of these wells as like my trash. So like if you're doing peppers and you've got the seeds and stuff left over, you can just kind of shoosh that out of your way as well. It doesn't have to just necessarily be that. Okay, and then I'm gonna put some olives in the other half. So I'm gonna put my divider in here. So you can kind of see. So I got tomatoes in there. I put my divider in, and we're gonna go ahead and do some pepper or some olives. Let me grab a paper towel here real quick to clean off the cutting board. And have you guys seen, or do you already have the quick slice? Have you guys seen this little guy?
I've got it.
What all have you been cooking with it? Or what all have you sliced with it?
Strawberries, blueberries, mushrooms.
Yeah,
I think that's a bit.
yeah. So you can do all
Bananas.
that, and even like this tomato, I probably could have put in there. Cherry tomatoes are good with this as well. I'm going to do olives tonight, and as you had mentioned, strawberries are a good thing to do. Mushrooms are kind of a favorite of mine. So basically, if you're not familiar with this, these are blades here on the bottom, and all you do is just kind of whatever you're slicing, just kind of push down on it. You can be anal and line everything up. I just kind of put it in the place. And as you're cutting, it fills your container here. And then you can dump that into your storage container or right onto your salad or onto your pizza or whatever you're doing. And then the last little bit, sometimes they get stuck there on the bottom. So I recommend putting it back in the cap and kind of pushing, and then that pushes everything all the way through. So we've got that. We're going to put our olives in there. So again, you can see for our bar, got my little half and half there. And look at how fun that is. They're all sliced evenly. Just a fun little tool. I absolutely love this little guy. Okay, so we got that there. And then we're going to go ahead and, oops, I am going to need that container that's on the floor. Good thing you're not eating this because it's been on the floor. My husband won't care. Anyway, let me. I'm not going to pick up the cheese that's on the floor, but I'll leave that for the dogs. They can come clean up. But I do need the container. Okay, so you can't have tacos without having some lettuce, right? And I know you can just slice this up with a knife, of course, but we're going to have much more fun, and we're going to use the Rapid Prep mandolin. Does anybody have this in their kitchen yet?
I don't yet.
Okay, I like that yet because you're going to need it. So, okay, so Shelly, what all do you like to use this for?
I have it, but to be honest, I haven't used it yet.
Okay, I am so glad you're here tonight so that you can get a little lesson. That's the beauty of seeing this stuff in action. And if you're still kind of like hesitant to use it when we're done, say something. And if you want me to slice more things with it, I'd be more than happy to slice more things for you guys tonight. So it sounds like everybody needs a little lesson on this. So the beauty of this is most mandolins, let's see, and I don't need this anymore. So let me get this out of the way. Okay, most mandolins, you take the food in your hand and you run it across the blade, right? Super scary. I hear a million stories about people that get hurt. With this though, the food's going to go in here and you're actually taking this handle and you're pumping it, and that's what's going to slice the food, and you notice your hands are nowhere near. So I like that. The other nice feature of this is it has these two dials here, and between the two dials, it has 24 different settings. To me, that's overkill. You really probably don't need 24 different settings, but you can play with it and get things exactly the way you like it. But what I do like is, I'll just kind of put this real close up. I don't know if you can see well enough. There's little symbols here. So this one, and you'll see it better when you have it in person, is slicing. So if you're thinking, so slicing like a soft tomato, like I could have sliced that and then diced it or whatever. So anything that you want sliced, from soft tomatoes all the way up to hard sweet potatoes, you can do. And with the bottom dial, you're going to adjust it from 1 to 8. So 1 is going to be super duper thin shaved, like think of homemade potato chips, maybe. Slice the potatoes really thin, drop them in the fryer, and you got homemade chips. All the way to 8, which is about 1/4 of an inch, which would be more like your, if you wanted to do, like I slice like sweet potatoes or potatoes, like for scallop potatoes or something like that, where you're not going to want them to cook down to nothing. You want the potato to hold its shape. So anyway, so that's what that's all about. So that one, I actually do use all 8 settings based on what I'm doing. Now for the other settings, you have what's called fat julienne. So think about French fries. And if you can see here, if you do like the fat julienne and then you turn it here, there's like a little grid mark there. That is like a perfect square French fry. So I use that. I don't necessarily go into all the other settings. I just, if I'm going to make French fries, I put it on what I call the French fry setting. And you can do potatoes, sweet potatoes. I'll even like French fry carrots or things like that, like for a veggie tray. So I kind of just do that one setting. And then if you want something skinny, like more like a try to think like a matchstick or a julienne cut of something, then you would go to the other one, which is skinny julienne. And then again, down here at 4, you can see there's like another little grid mark. So those are kind of I do slice 1 to 8, and I do fat julienne and skinny julienne, and then that's kind of about it. But you have all kinds of flexibility with it. So sounds confusing, but really just play with it. That's really the best way to learn. And we're going to go ahead. What did I just do with it? Slicing lettuce. Oh, here we go. And let me cut this end off here. So we're going to slice lettuce. So we're going to just kind of feed our head of romaine in here. I have it on slice and I have it on about 3. So kind of thin because I want it shredded. And all you do is just pump the handle. Let me get this where you can see a little bit better. And feed your food through. Now lettuce, again, it's a little softer and it's a little harder to feed through, like, but that's where our pusher is going to come in as you get close to the blade. And just like that, I've got shredded lettuce for our tacos. Pretty cool, right? And again, really, you can slice anything with this guy. I do, like I said, I love to slice in the summertime. I'll slice tomatoes for hamburgers and slice some onion for hamburgers. Or if I'm doing a stir fry, it's really easy to slice up vegetables or even, do the julienne carrots and things like that for a stir fry. Again, I just have fun with it. I just play with it. So that's probably my best recommendation for you is just play with it. Okay. And then, so we got that, we're going to just set that aside there. Actually, I don't need this container. Okay. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to make some guacamole for this. And we're going to do the cheater way. So I have a couple different ways that I like to make guacamole. My dog just found the cheese and my dog is so happy. So anyway, so often I will make from scratch. I'll take like onions and tomatoes and peppers and chop that in either with the food chopper or the manual food processor and kind of make a salsa. And then I will take the salsa and add that to avocado to make guacamole. But when I'm not wanting to go to that much effort, like tonight, we're going to just go ahead and do what I call the cheater version of guacamole. And that is using another seasoning from Pampered Chef. And this is the guacamole mix. And so literally for every avocado, 1 tablespoon of seasoning, and easy peasy delicious. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. So you can just see the quick version of guacamole. And when it comes to an avocado, love using the avocado tool. I like his little face on there. Can you see the little face? Do you guys already have this in your kitchen?
No.
Okay,
No.
So this guy, it has a serrated blade on one side. I'm trying to get that you can see. I hope you can see. So there's serrated blade. That is your sharp side for cutting through the skin. Then the other side is not, and that's like your scooper side. So let's go ahead and let me get this where you guys can see what I'm doing here. Now, don't hold it in your hand when you're slicing because that blade is sharp and it's going to cut you. So I just kind of put this on my counter, on my cutting board, whatever, and slice my avocado. Ooh, look at that one. It's yummy. Good avocado. Okay. And then what I like is, so one side, now I'm going to use the dull side and I kind of just give this a little dice just to kind of get it out of the skin. And this is going to go into our bin there or your bowl, whatever you're doing. And then the pit, that's where this guy comes in. There's some prongs in here and you're just going to kind of hit it into the pit and give it a little twist. Whoops, let me do that again. And it pulls the pit right out. So a whole lot easier and safer than taking a knife and, kind of hacking at it and missing and then cutting your hand. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and scoop our avocado out. My dog is right at my feet, so I can't stand up at the counter like I would like to at the moment. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and mash this up. I love using this little guy. This is our mix and mash. So we talked about the mix and chop earlier, like for your hamburgers. This is great for mashed potatoes or mashing up bananas for banana bread, mashing up your avocado for guacamole. And what I like is, like if I'm doing mashed potatoes, like you can use it to mash, as you can kind of see here, but then it's almost like a whisk. So like after I've added my other ingredients, like the cream or the butter and the, you know, milk, whatever, then you can kind of give it a stir and kind of whisk up your potatoes. So if you use it as a potato masher, you're going to get just the best mashed potatoes ever. Okay, so again, big container for just a little bit of avocado, but you get the idea. And then, as I said, that was 1 avocado. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon of guacamole mix. I'm going to go a little heavy. I like it a little spicy. I grew up in Texas. I like things spicy. And just going to go ahead. Now, this also kind of acts like a preservative with it. I mean, it doesn't have preservatives in it, but I think like the lemon, you know, juice and stuff that might be in there really kind of keeps. So if you don't eat all the avocado, it really does keep it fresh until you get back to it. Okay. So there we go. So now we got that. Let me pull all the stuff aside. So now when we get ready to serve our taco ring, I've got all of our toppings ready to go. So everybody can kind of do, you know, take their piece of the taco ring, put whatever, you know, things on top they want, lettuce, tomato, whatever, and kind of have it their way. And I don't have the ice packs in there, but if I were, it would keep that nice and cold for serving. We're going to eat it right away, so I don't need to worry about it, but you're going to have that. And then to top it off, you're not going to get to see the demo, but I've got some salsa that I made that I actually made in our cooking blender. So I don't know if you guys have seen that. That's something I can do a demo for you another time, where it's a blender. So it takes your onions and tomatoes and peppers and everything and you'll grinds it up for you. But it also has a heating element and cooks. So like true salsa, like when I just chop it up, like I talked before in the manual food processor, that's more of like, I say salsa, but it's more like a pico de gallo. Whereas this is your cooked salsa, like your restaurant salsa. And so I made this in the cooking blender. So it's really, you know, kind of, you know, I have a ton of tomatoes that are coming in right now. I'm like, what am I going to do with all of them? So I've been making salsa and marinara and all kinds of stuff. And I've been using the cooking blender a lot for all of that. So I just wanted to kind of point that out. If you're kind of in the same situation as me, you might want that cooking blender so you can make all those things. So, okay. So let me see where we are with our ring. Oh, that is perfect timing. It is done. Let me make some room for it on my countertop. You guys will get to see the finished product. It's going to be so good. Let's kind of make room here.
So have you ever used your quick chop or quick slicer to do cheese slices?
Say that again.
What you used for the lettuce, have you ever used it with cheese?
Not to grate it per se. Like I would not recommend buying it as a cheese grater. I have done it because like I already had it dirty and I'm like, I'm not going to get my cheese grater dirty. Let me pull this out real quick. But, so I would, if you are going to use it with cheese, I do recommend, kind of freezing the cheese a little bit, kind of making it firm it up a little bit. If you use it, and the cheese is too soft, it kind of gunks it up a little bit.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily, it's not the best tool for cheese, but again, you're like, oh, I don't want to get my cheese grater out. It's already dirty. Yeah, you could probably get by. And I think I find it's better for slicing cheese than grating.
That's what I was wondering. Slice.
Yeah, so yeah, but it is all dishwasher safe. So, you know, easy to clean. Does come with a little cleaning brush. So if you do get stuff stuck in the blades, it's easy to clean with the brush as opposed to like sticking your finger in there. You totally would not want to do that. So, anyway, okay. Ta-da! Does that not look delicious? Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so good. I am going to sprinkle a little cheese on top because I forgot to do that before. But this is nice and hot. It's going to melt. It's going to be delicious. And then, of course,
where's Willy Wonka when you need him?
Say that again.
Where's Willy Wonka when you need him? That TV video. What is it? Wonka Vision.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yum. So here we go. You can just see how it's going to be melting on there. It's going to be so good. So anyway, and then as I said, we've got our little toppings here and everybody can top their own. So questions on any of the tools that I used?
Mm-mm.
Anything that you guys are curious about, I'm in my kitchen. The entire catalog is, within arm's reach. I can pull something else out if there's something you'd like a quick little demo or you'd like to just see it. I could show you something that you might be curious about.
What about
On
the shears?
your bag. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, shears.
Yeah. What? Those are new. Those are new.
The shears, did you say the kitchen shears?
Yes. The
So
kitchen
we have
Yes.
two different ones. And I forget the names. That one's professional and one is kitchen. I forget which one's which. I think these are the kitchen shears. They come apart.
Okay.
Which is nice. Like if you cut up chicken or something, then you can put it in the dishwasher and get them cleaned up. But super handy. Anyway, like those. But the ones that I think are probably more popular are these. And I think these are the professional shears. They have a little lock here on the bottom, so you just pull that out, and then they're kind of like spring loaded. And I probably reach for these more than anything. I just kind of like that spring action with them. I use them for everything from cutting open, whatever bags,
Everything. Yeah.
whatever you need. And where I especially like them is I'll take a prep bowl and I'll put like fresh herbs in there, and then I will kind of snip at them with this. And it's a really good like herb. I use it a lot for fresh herbs, but I really use it for anything. So, and it's also dishwasher safe, but it doesn't come apart. So, but I've cut chicken with it and it's been fine.
Yeah, I cut chicken with it too. I cut meat all the time with it. But I didn't think I'd use the minis, and I do all the time for herbs.
Yeah. So anyway,
The mini of those, the professional minis.
Yeah. So anyway, so those are that. And then I don't know if you guys have seen the salad choppers. This is another kind of shears that we have. I love these guys. It's a dual blade. So there's two blades here, and it's kind of scoopy. And like I use this, the name implies for chopped salad. So like you throw your lettuce and tomato and carrots and cabbage and kale and whatever in your bowl and you chop at it. I use it for chicken. Like if I've cooked chicken, whether I've grilled it or baked it or microwaved it or whatever, and then I chop it up with this to kind of give me like pulled chicken, but I chop it with this. So this is
I've seen one of those.
Wow.
Yeah. So these are super popular, super.
I like those.
And again, they're misnamed. They're called a salad chopper. They should be a chicken chopper, but they didn't ask us consultants. They just named it. So cool. Anything else that I could share with you guys?
On your storage zipper pouch that you have that you were putting your excess cheese in?
Yep.
About how long does stuff last in there? How long does stuff last in there?
I couldn't tell you because I eat it up before it gets bad. I've had cheese. I mean, I would bet I have had cheese in here at least a week, and it has not dried out or molded or anything like that. So we eat a lot of cheese. So I don't know that I've tested it to see like how long is too long.
Right.
But I use these, like, again, my kids aren't in school, but you could use them for lunches or snacks or whatever. I mean, they're just super handy. Let me pull out the other sizes real quick for you.
Hey, Shelly.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. It's good to see you.
That's what's fun
Good
about
to
you
be
guys getting to
seen.
see each other and talk to each other.
Oh, so I have to tell a quick story.
Yeah, please.
So I knew Melissa before I knew Shelly. And Shelly came to Melissa's house in Chickasha, and they had a creative memories party. And it took 4 hours for me to do one page, and she was so patient with me, and she's been my bestie ever since.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. You would have to spend at least that much time with me doing a page too.
I was not creative for sure.
I've tried. It's not my forte.
It took a lot of practice.
Anyway, good story. Okay, so this is the smallest one. Small, medium, so you can kind of see the difference in size. And then this is the sandwich one. It just kind of has a unique way to open. It just kind of has a zipper on two different sizes here, but it's the same size as the medium, kind of. And then this large one, And I use this large one, like for marinating meat and things like that. I'll throw in a couple chicken breasts and whatever I'm marinating with, seal it up, put it in the refrigerator. And it, that seal is so tight, it will not leak, my refrigerator. And then I can kind of push it around, whatever. But it's super handy for like a marinating bag. So, and then they're dishwasher safe, if I forgot to mention that. So they're easy to clean. So
that's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all like the dishwasher, right?
Yes.
Okay, then real quick, if you have more questions, keep them coming, but I do want to go ahead, and my husband's gonna be home in a minute and the dogs are going to bark. So I want to get this in before it's too noisy in my house. Real quick, just wanted to go through specials with you guys. With a $90 order, you'll get your choice of either the pizza cutter, has a nice big ring or wheel. And then this little guy is, if you're cutting pizza that has like, you're not on a flat stone or a flat pan, but it has like a little bit of a lip. This is your crust cutter. So it would go to the edge and cut the crust. So that's what
I didn't think I would like it, but I really do.
Yeah, it's super handy. Love it. Or the basting brush. And this is, the bristles don't come out. It's silicone, heat resistant, dishwasher safe. So you could choose one of these with a $90 order. With a $150 order, you'll get free shipping. So certainly keep that in mind. When you're shopping online, there is a section as you're shopping for new stuff. We do have some holiday items that just were introduced and are only available through the end of the year or while supplies last. So good thing you guys are shopping in October because everything is still available. But, excuse me. Joanna had mentioned the cinnamon plus and vanilla are only available during the holidays. So stock up for the year. That's what I do, so that you can get yourself through October of next year, and then you can go ahead and order again. So anyway, so you will see these specials when you click into new or holiday section.
Okay.
Also wanted to point out, I had mentioned it earlier, the naked stoneware, as I call it, the kind of the workhorse pieces are 15% off as long as you order by the end of the month. So end of October. And then also our baking mixes are on sale at 15% off as well. So when you're shopping online, all those discount prices will pop up for you. And there's also a category that says sale. And so that's where you'll see those items as well. And I kind of recommend like mix and match, like take a piece of stoneware, like the round stone, and pair it with the pizza crust. And what a nice gift. Or you could take like the cranberry, the orange cranberry bread with the loaf pan, or you could take the cookie mix with the rectangle stone, whatever. And I think it really makes a nice gift. My very first piece of stoneware that I got 35 years ago was a gift from my mother-in-law. So, so that's why I said it's just a gift that, at the time I loved, and it kind of turned me on to Pampered Chef, and, and here I am. So, so definitely think about that. And then also too, with the bread mixes, they're all less than $10. So if you have like office gift exchange where you have like a $10 budget or whatever, there's a great gift for you, because I know sometimes it's hard to find a really nice gift on such a short budget. So that would come in handy for you. Okay. And then if you decide that you want like everything that you're seeing in the party, like not just tonight, but everything, right? Do you guys want everything? That's the way I was. So definitely think about giving Pampered Chef a try as a consultant. Really fun to do, super easy. You got me to train you with everything. And then we do have a couple of specials that are going on, and they're also in the party as well. If you click into that Pampered Perks section, there's like a rotating thing that has all the specials listed. So go into that. It's kind of you got all the topics that have all the colored buttons. That's like most of the content. But then there's the live events section, then there's Pampered Perks that will have the specials that are going on. So everything I'm sharing with you now is in that section. But for new consultants, we have, you can get started for just $25. It's our virtual starter kit, where it gives you access to table and training and everything that you need so that you can get your business up and running quickly. Doesn't include any tools, but if you already have a lot of tools, then that might not be as important. You're like, just how do I get started? But if you do decide to get one of our tool bundles, so again, there's 4 different tool bundles that you can select as a new consultant. You get an extra gift with the round baker and the focaccia bread mix as a thank you for getting started in October. So keep that in mind. The other option that you have to get like everything you want at discount is to host a party. in November. And so Joanna, you get to take advantage of this special. You get to choose anything you want in the catalog at 60% off. So whatever you want, whatever I showed tonight, whatever your little heart desires. And then based on sales, you actually could maybe get 2 items at 60% off. So Joanna, you get that, but also too, if you guys, if there's some things you're like, oh, I really want that, just can't get that right now, think about the discounts, because I would love to help you with a party. And then not only at your party do you get all the goodies, but Joanna gets a discount at your party as well. So it's kind of it's a good thing. So if you want to be her forever friend, I think you already are her forever friend, but if you want to like ensure that place, then you want to go ahead and have that party. So anyway, and you can just, reach out to me. There's a button that says text me, or let me know in that Pampered Perks. Like, if you're interested in having a party, we can get something set up for you, but we got really good specials, and I hope you guys are having fun this week, to have a party of your own with your friends. And we'll do a different demo so you can see other recipes and other tools when we do our little live get together. So with that, I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I will be putting this replay into the party tomorrow. So if there's anything you want to watch again, or let your friends know that didn't make it, hey, check it out. That will be available to everybody tomorrow. So,
Okay. So,
any last questions?
No
Well,
question.
good. Well, thank you guys so
Thank
very
you.
much. I'm going to have a delicious
Thank
dinner.
you.
I hope you guys are too, or maybe you already had your delicious dinner.
But I hope it's good.
So anyway, but so nice to meet you guys, and kind of have I'm like, okay, I got a face with the name. I know who you guys are, and it just makes the party that much more fun. So,
Good.
Yes,
anyway,
it does.
you guys
Thanks, Kristin.
take care. Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Everyone, thanks for joining.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You bet.